This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Okay, on my left-hand side here, or on your right-hand side, you can see Motor Yacht Opera. Now, this is a brand new yacht. I mean, we're talking brand new. We're talking sticky stuff still on computer screens and stuff like that. Completely brand new on her maiden voyage. These photographs were taken in Portsmouth in the UK yesterday. The vessel's first stop since she left Bremen, being finished off, and it was delivered in the last few days to her owner. And like I said, the vessel's on her maiden voyage. The owner is Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. It's not his first boat, by the way. And the vessel is one of the largest yachts in the world at 146 meters, 479 feet. And a gross tonnage of 12,500 gross tons. So she is only a few hundred gross tons shy of Dilbar, which is the biggest yacht in the world by volume. Now, the vessel sailed from Bremen through the English Channel to Portsmouth. Now, this is not coincidental why she's visiting the UK, because the vessel, being just delivered, has to leave the customs union of the EU. Otherwise, the owner faces a massive tax bill. If let's say they'd gone to France, then he would have immediately been required to pay a tax bill for the building of that vessel. Now, the vessel's value, or the reported cost to build this vessel, was $450 million. I think that might be a little low, to be honest, but let's just go with that number. If he'd gone to France or any other place in the EU, his tax bill would have been over $100 million. And that's a lot of money even for a billionaire. Now, traditionally, when a yacht left somewhere in the north of Germany, the vessels would sail to Kristiansand in Norway. I've done this trip myself. It's take us outside of the EU, stay there for a couple of days, and then we can sail straight back into the EU with no problems. Now that the UK is out of the EU, they no longer have to sail to Norway to accomplish this. So they can just sail through the English Channel, stop somewhere in the UK, probably get duty-free fuel as well, and then back into the Mediterranean, past Gibraltar. So this is probably what's happening with this boat. Very unlikely the owner's on board, by the way. This is a delivery trip. It's a maiden voyage. So they'll be testing everything, making sure. I mean, they've already done sea trials, but they're still going through that phase of everything is new. The crew is relatively new. It's a brand new vessel, so they're still getting used to it. Anyway, like I said, one good thing to come from Brexit is now we can be a destination for brand new yachts sailing out of the shipyards in Europe. All right, so we'll move on to the main story. And this is about the Grounded Yacht in Hawaii. So after 2 failed attempts and then bad weather with high seas, the yacht, which was moved 90 degrees in the second attempt, was back in her original position. The salvage company spent all of Saturday and Sunday morning attaching extra thick rigging lines to the stricken yacht. And the salvage crew from the Kahi also used a carbon cutter to free either the yacht's prop or rudder, believed to be the reason for early attempts failing. The yacht was prepared for the third attempt in 2 weeks after the yacht's grounding, and the weather was now perfect for such an operation, as you can see in this video footage here from the DLNR. After more groaning from that beached yacht, she finally broke free, listing heavily right away, and the 28 meter or 94 foot yacht Nakoa was finally freed after 2 weeks aground on the rocks off Lapoa Point in Maui on Sunday. The yacht, which was owned by a charter company, was actually being used by the owner at the time of the incident. Now, initially, he had declined to pay the $460,000 for the salvage, and the DLNR stepped in to manage the operation. The DLNR chair, or the Department of Land and Natural Resources chair, Dawn Chang, was there to watch the yacht finally be pulled off the rocks and head out to sea. And here she is after that the completion of that salvage.
I am beyond words. You know, speaking to Randy Cates, this was his company, the salvage company. He called me as soon as the vessel got out, and I extended our great appreciation. And you look at the bay below us. I mean, this is why we protect this place. This is why it was so important to move that vessel. And the other really important, I guess why this is so special, as the vessel, the Nako, is being escorted out by the two tugs, there was also an escort by several whales. And if you're Hawaiian, you know, you think about the Hawaii Lona. What does this signal? There was no wind until that vessel went out, and then the wind started to blow. It was a beautiful day. I've appreciated, Doak here has been here 24/7 throughout the entire 2 weeks, which has meant they haven't been able to do some of the other enforcement. But our DOBAR staff, our DAR staff, they're going to come out here and assess the condition of the reef. So the community people have been here as well, and monitoring, watching over, making sure that this special resource is protected. All of our deal and our staff were extraordinary in doing what they could to investigate the vessel's owner. We're going to hold him accountable. I will assure you the department is going to use all of its resources, including the Attorney General's office, to hold this vessel and its owners accountable, both for the damages to the reef, the environment, all the costs associated with the removal of the vessel, as well as all the administrative costs. We're going to hold this vessel owner accountable.
Now, after the boat was towed away, immediately started to list over to one side. It was clear that the vessel was taking on water. Now, you can see in this video footage here that the vessel is being towed at quite a speed here. And this is most likely because they knew it's sinking, and it was a matter of time before the vessel completely sank. So they wanted to get it as far out and as deep as possible before the vessel actually succumbed to the water it was taking on. Unsurprisingly, based on this footage, the yacht never made it to its destination, and it sank in 243 meters or 800 feet of water. It's very easy to be an armchair captain when you're thousands of miles away looking at this from video footage, but I wonder why they didn't fit flotation devices to this yacht. Not to try to get it off the rocks, but once it came off the rocks, those flotation devices would have prevented the yacht from sinking. Now, in a previous video, I said that the value of the yacht was less than the $460,000. I was referring to the value of it after it was on the rocks. So one of these yachts now, a used one of these yachts now, you're looking at least a couple of million dollars for one of these. So it had an intrinsic value, even though the hull had been punctured. And if they'd fitted flotation devices, it's quite possible that they could have got this back to a port somewhere, put it into a dry dock facility and repaired it and had it back out on the ocean. So I don't really understand why that never happened. But like I said, it's very easy to talk about these things when you're not involved in them. So there was probably some reason why they didn't do that. Okay, one more thing before I go. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/esysman. You'll get to see exclusive videos not published on YouTube, like our recent Q&A, which is for patrons only. You'll get to early access to featured videos, advert-free, and you'll get to suggest topics for future videos and ask questions for future Q&As. So be sure to check that out at patreon.com/esysman. If you've got any information about any of the stories or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch through the normal fashion. You can get us on the About page of the YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger. You can also get us on Threema. Please be sure to like this video. Very important for us to be able to share it with more people. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.